Hi, so today I want to talk to you guys about the importance of glute strengthening. So when it comes to flexibility practice, most of you will be thinking stretching and lengthening the muscles is the most important thing. It is important, but it is also really vital that we build strength in all different areas. So it's very common to have muscle imbalances. Usually it's a postural thing. Or it can be to do with repetitive movements or activities that we do daily. So today I want to talk to you about how the glutes play a really important part in your flexibility progression. So for example, if you are in a straddle and you're finding it really hard to bring your torso forward, if you find it really hard to fold over your legs, then you're thinking, yeah, it's really tight hamstrings, which can be true, but also it can be to do with tight glutes. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about this. So I'm going to sit on the chair and show you how your glutes can become inactive. So most of us that sit down for a job, whether it's on a computer or you might be driving for a job, what happens here is the legs are forced into a contracted position all the time. So your hip flexor is what flexes the legs, okay? When you're sitting down, your hip flexors and your quads are constantly working and they're keeping your leg in a short contracted position. So what's going to happen is these muscles of the hip flexor are going to be very short, and they're going to stay that way if you continue to sit for really long periods of time. What happens here is the glutes turn off. So the over activity of the quads and the hip flexors basically tell the glutes you don't need to work anymore. So your glutes do become quite lazy. You get a lazy bum. Also, in this position, when the hip flexors become shorter, it's more likely that it will change your posture and you will get an anterior tilt like this. So your pelvis will be forward, it will be harder for you to engage the stomach and your bum will stick out, okay? Like mine. I do have that from another reason, from high heels. But yeah, sitting down can give you an anterior tilt. So that shortens the front of the thighs and lengthens the back of the hamstrings. So you might actually feel that your hamstrings are really short and really tight, but actually because of your posture and because of the way that you've been sitting, your hamstrings are getting stretched, they're getting pulled, and they're getting really long, but really thin and really weak. So it's overactivity and overexertion of the hamstrings. Also with moving, your glutes play a huge role in walking really and taking the first step forward. When it comes to contortion and stretching, the glutes play a big part in helping you to, for example, achieve a chest stand. To be able to get your legs up over your head, you need a lot of glute strength. So it is really important that we strengthen the glutes and bring more balance into the body. If our glutes are not working, then all the other muscles are going to be working harder and they're going to become weak, okay? So I'm going to show you today some exercises that might help you with building up sufficient strength for your glutes. Now, first ones I'm going to show you is on your front. You will recognize these if you've been coming to my classes. I do put quite a lot of emphasis on glute stretching, glute building. So you're going to push the hip bones into the floor. You're going to engage your abdominals. Okay, I want you to try and focus on tucking the tailbone under, so you're lengthening the lower back. You're going to lift your foot up from the ground, so you're bending your leg. And what I want you to do from here is to try and bring the thigh off the floor. Okay, so you need to contract the glutes a lot. Bring it back down. And again. Squeeze the glutes, bring it back down. I would say when you're doing these at home, try to aim for 2 sets of 20 maybe. It seems like quite a lot, but it'll really help you. So you could do small thigh raises. You'll really feel the gluteus maximus working. That's the biggest glute muscle. And then you might want to hold it and do small pulses. So that's one of my favourite exercises. Another one is with straight legs, so very similar. If you feel like your lower back is working too much, then try to really focus on lengthening and drawing the abs in. Okay, so straight legs, squeeze the bum. Again, rising the thigh off the floor. And again, you could do 2 sets of 20 on each side. That's another really good one. These are particularly effective if you have ankle weights. So I would recommend ankle weights if you do feel like your glutes need to be worked at quite a lot. Next, you're going to come into a hands and kneeling position. So make sure that hands are underneath the shoulders. Engage the core, so don't drop the belly. So think belly to spine. And then from here, focus on really pushing the foot that's on the ground, focus on really pushing through the top of the foot. And then you're going to bring one knee off the floor, extend the leg back while trying to keep the core strong and tight. Keep the hips square for this exercise. Okay, and then you can hold it and you can do small pulses. So that's another one that's really good for glutes. The last one is glute bridge. So you're going to come onto your back. So what I want you to do is really pay attention to your form. So you don't want to have a big gap here. You want to try and close the gap here, so you're pushing your lower back into the mat, lengthening the tailbone. Sometimes people start with their feet too far away, sometimes their feet are too close in. So to get a really good benefit from this exercise, then when you bring your hands down by your side, you should be able to touch the foot just slightly. The fingertips should be able to touch the foot. Okay, and then from here, keep the legs really strong, push down with the feet, and you're going to raise the hips up, squeeze the bum as much as you can. Don't do this, don't stick the belly out. Keep everything nice and strong and connected, and then lower down. And you can do as many repetitions of these as you like. If you feel like it's quite hard to stabilise in that position, then I would recommend using a band. So using a resistance band and placing it here around the top of your thighs. That can really help to gain a bit more resistance, to make it a little bit more challenging and just to help you out more with the exercise. So again, just close the lower back. Strong abs, bring the feet in. Feet always hip distance apart, push through the feet and bring the hips up, squeeze, lower the bum down. To take it a little bit further, you can do this with one leg. So bring the hips up, take one leg up, and you can try to come up and down with one leg. Makes it a lot more challenging, and you'll really feel the glutes working. So usually when we think about strengthening our glutes, probably the first thing that comes to your head is squats. Squats can be good if you already have glute strength. If your glutes are really inactive, you're probably not going to feel squats you're not going to feel your glutes working very much in squats. You're probably just going to feel a burning sensation in your quads. So I wouldn't really go for squats if you are really inactive in your glutes. So yeah, I hope that these exercises helped you today. Keep practicing them. They will become more easy for you. Like you will start to understand them more. When you're sitting down for your job, please stand up. So try and stand up every half an hour or every hour. Try not to always be sitting. Just try and stretch a little bit, even if it's for a minute, 2 minutes. Try to take lots of regular breaks. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys soon.